going on, Falcons family? We are back here on a Tuesday. This is Falcons Daily. I am Craig Green, CG, your host of today's show, and appreciate all of you guys checking in and also participating in the comments section on Monday's show. Thanks again for all of your time and energy. Really, really appreciate it. We've been still kind of mulling over Sunday's game. The Falcons lost at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by the score of 23-20. The thing that everybody remembers the most is Younghoe Koo missing from 44 yards out. That would have pretty much sent the game to overtime. There was 2 seconds left on the clock after the kick was missed wide to the right. Koo, outside of that, had made all of his kicks, had one bounce off the, he doinked one off the inside of the upright. Did go in. They all count the same, whether you make them clean or they doink around a little bit. But one thing I feel like I've seen a lot of is Koo having to take the blame for this loss from fans, from the media, even even folks in Falcons media talking about Koo and is this a pattern of things to come or what have you. I largely do not think so. I mean, yeah, kickers can go up and down. They can be streaky like shooters can be in the NBA, like home run hitters can be in MLB. I think they do have those streaks, but again, you only have a small sample size in the NFL to get it done. 17 games is it goes by faster than you realize. But one thing I feel like has happened is that Koo is taking the blame for the offense and the defense not doing their job, especially the defense once again. Falcon family, how many of you have been watching since the Matt Ryan era, before the Matt Ryan era? How many awesome defenses did we have during the Matt Ryan era? Probably just one. And that was in 2017. And that was it. The year after we lost the Super Bowl, the Falcons all of a sudden decided they wanted to play defense. And it unfortunately, it was the only time we had that. But again, this defense did not do its job. I mean, I know in the beginning we had a couple of 3 and outs. They held the Bucs to 10 points at the half. All that looks good. All that feels good. But again, we could only muster 10 points of our own on offense before halftime. That's part of the problem. I mean, this is a team game. 3 of those 10 points, matter of fact, 4 of those 10 points came from Koo himself, knocking down a field goal, making an extra point. So right there, nobody was thinking about him at all until he missed the kick. No one was thinking about Koo really during the offseason when he was doing his job in training camp, when he was getting his body right. He got a lot of compliments from Raheem Morris about his off-season training, his workouts, how he went about his business. Came back in great shape and ready to play. Again, remember, Koo went on injured reserve last year with a hip injury, and I think that's part of why he had a lackluster 2024 season. But let's keep it real, y'all. I mean, answer this question for me, and I know I can answer it myself, but I'm going to ask it to all of you, okay? Do you think, so had the Falcons defense got the stop with about a minute to go on the clock, would Younghoe Koo have come out on the field for any reason whatsoever? The answer is no. Had Ruka Rororo not committed the stupidest, most boneheaded roughing the passer penalty all Sunday long, in that critical moment, had he not commit that penalty, was Younghoe Koo going to have to come back on the field to take a knee, to make a kick, to do anything? The answer is no. So before we look at the kicker and say, you should have made that kick, you cost us the game, remember, if he makes the kick, we go to overtime. There's no guarantees. What's happened the last 2 times we went to overtime, folks? We lost. The defense, again, did not do its job, did not stop the Washington Commanders, did not stop the Carolina Panthers with Bryce Young, and we lost 2 games back-to-back, which cost us the NFC South. Not Younghoe Koo's leg against the Saints in Week 10, but those 2 losses directly attributed to the defense not getting off the field and giving our offense a chance. So when we're looking at scapegoats for who did this, that, and the third, or who didn't do their job, you got to look at the entire team. And I get really, really tired of seeing excuses being made for the defense not doing its job. Why is it okay and why is it allowed or why is it acceptable amongst all of our Falcon family? Please tell me, y'all, why is it acceptable for the defense to blow leads in the fourth quarter and then put it on the kicker or the offense because you were saying they didn't do their job? Remember, there's a minute or so left in this game. The Falcons had the Bucs outside of field goal range, okay, and a field goal wasn't going to tie the game for them. They needed a touchdown to get into the lead. We had the Bucs at the plus 40-yard line, right? That's where they converted a fourth down to keep the chains moving. Again, there you go. My point exactly. Fourth down, we can't stop them. They keep the chains moving. They get another first down at the Falcon 40. On that very first play, first down and 10 from the Falcon 40, that's when the roughing the passer penalty happens against Rook on a play where Mayfield was chased out of the pocket and throwing the football away. Instead, he stumbles, whatever, falls into him. And I think Raheem Morris was, making a little BS lip service in his press conference, trying to say that Baker Mayfield flopped, and maybe he did. But again, and he did come back and say that Rook has to be better in those moments. And he does, absolutely. I'm sorry, but Rook Aroro's mistake is the reason why the Falcons offense had to come back on the field in the first place. Because the very next play after that roughing the passer penalty, which put Tampa Bay at the Falcon 25-yard line, what happened, y'all? Emeka Egbuka, 25-yard touchdown pass over Mike Hughes in the end zone, and the Falcons are trailing again. And it's like, here we go again. It's the exact same thing we've seen time and time again, whether it's been the Georgia Dome or Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Too many of these games where the Falcons have had opportunities to close the show with the defense on the field, and they can't get it done. And that's what I'm saying, is that why is this all on the kicker? Please have some perspective. Remember what was going on during the game. This is a team game. And Koo should make that kick. I am not absolving him from that. But this game does not fall on the shoulders of Younghoe Koo to win, lose, or tie. He just has to do his 111th. On the plays before that, when the defense was on the field, guys like Rook did not do theirs. And that's why the Falcons lost the game. And to add to that point, Arnold Ebiketie had spoke to the media after the ball game as well. And this is what Ebiketie had to say. AK-47 says, the goal was to kind of represent our style at the beginning of the game. We just have to find a way to close the game, like how we used to play, like how to play with the same type of intensity the whole game. That came from Arnold Ebiketie. Again, he realizes what was going on. He knew that the Falcons defense had given it up again. Time and time again, we saw it happen under the Matt Ryan era. We saw it under the Vic era. We saw it under Mariota and even Desmond Ridder, matter of fact, one example I can think of, Desmond Ridder, everybody wanted this guy out of town when he made his first mistake. Then we go out to Arizona. We had to play Mariota, and then we brought Ridder in because Mariota got hurt. So here comes Ridder into the game. Ridder gets the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter in Arizona against the Cardinals. What's the defense do? Give it up. They gave it up once again. They let Trey McBride. I'm sorry, he's not a top 10 tight end in the NFL. Obviously a professional tight end, a talented young man, but he is not Travis Kelce. He is not... Heck, even Kyle Pitts. He's not Cade Otton, for crying out loud. He's none of these guys. And instead, he had one of the best games of his life. And especially in that fourth quarter, we let Kyler Murray and him and the Cardinals offense walk us down, kick a field goal to win the game, and we lost. Why? Because the defense didn't do their job. I'm sorry, we got to look more at them in these moments because they're on the field to close the show. If they get off the field on fourth down, the Falcons are winning the game. It is that simple. All they had to do was keep the Bucs out of the end zone, and they couldn't do it. They could not do it. And what happens, again, repeatedly, is that excuses are made for our crappy defense who decides to just fold up in critical moments. Super Bowl 51, before I move on to the next topic, again, everybody looks at Matt Ryan, oh, he should have did more, or Devonta Freeman should have made that block, or holding on the play to Sanu or whatever. No, how about Robert Alford squeeze the damn football and catch it when it hits him in the chest and not let it fall into the hands of Julian Edelman? If that happens, we are the world champions. Okay? I mean, we can't just say it's okay for our defense to suck. The offense needs to score 100 points every week. Off my soapbox. All right, on to the next topic. Drake London, his shoulder injury. Any concerns from any of you out there? For me, I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen an AC joint injury that was from D. Orlando Ledbetter of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the main Falcons beat writer, and then also saw I believe it was Ian Rappaport who said he suffered a shoulder sprain and is considered day to day. So I don't know. We'll see. If Drake is out there for practice on Wednesday, then obviously much ado about nothing. If he doesn't practice all week long, then of course much ado about something. But hopefully we will get Darnell Mooney back this Sunday night against the Vikings. I mean, if we have to go into Minnesota without Drake and Darnell Mooney, that could be a really tough task for us offensively when it comes to the pass catchers. We've got guys in the building who can do it. Ray McLeod, Kadero Hodge have done it. Casey Washington had a nice game as well. But again, if that doesn't happen, to look for more practice squad elevations or look for some free agent signings as well at wide receiver. But we'll look into that after, probably on Thursday's show, after we look at the first practice for Vikings week here. But yeah, a little bit concerned about Drake's shoulder injury. I mean, didn't really see where he got injured, but I did see him on the sideline kind of shaking it off. He had a look on his face like he was in pain during one of the Falcons' last drives of the game. But just hoping for the best for Drake, that he can get out there and play. I mean, he's tough. He's a dog, but, injuries are injuries, and, we don't want to see him this early on, that's for certain. Should our starters have played in the preseason, y'all? I mean, we came out and we scored 20 points in the season opener. We hear Mike Penix talk about how this offense can take off and do some special things, and we only put 20 up on the board, just a dub. That's it. Mike Penix did not play one snap in the preseason. Neither did Drake London, Darnell Mooney. None of these guys played. Should our skill players have been out there? Maybe even on defense. Should they have played some on defense? Hard to tell. You know what I'm saying? But I do subscribe to the theory of everybody needs to play, even if it's one or two series to get your feet wet, to get acclimated to the grass or the turf, whatever it may be. There's always going to be new parts or moving parts out there with you. It's very rare for teams to return these same 11 starters on offense, defense, or special teams, or even the same coordinators or head coaches. So I'm a firm believer that we need some preseason reps. And I'm not saying that strictly because we scored 20 points on the day and because we lost, but, I think it wouldn't hurt to have had them out there, trying to work on the chemistry and the timing and things like that, especially with a guy like Elijah Wilkerson, who false started twice on one drive. He needs as many reps as possible to make sure he gets the cadence right and make sure he gets the communication down, because these things can't happen when you go to Minnesota. Otherwise, we'll be in big danger of going 0-2. It's already bad enough that we're down right now, Mooney and London, as of today. We'll see if we get them. We'll see if we get one or the other or both back for Sunday night. But I think it's just it just gets you in the feels when you see us lose and you see 20 points on the board. It's one thing if we scored 35 and lost, but we put up 20 on our home field and lost, to the Bucs when we had them dead to rights, not once, not twice, but at least 3 times. All right, looking at the comments, y'all, from Monday's show, we had a couple of really good ones out there. So we're going to go and read those and give a little response. So, first of which, we'll look at Tommy V, 1477. Drake has a shoulder sprain. They didn't use Kyle Pitts enough. When he touched the ball, he made plays. When he touched the ball, he made plays. He could have blocked better. Zach Robinson and Koo cost us the game. By the way, Casey Washington made a few plays and had a few drops with Zach terrible play calling. I don't know if Mooney would have changed those bad redundant run plays. I don't know, Tommy. I mean, I'm not a big person who likes to criticize play calling. The reason why, I don't have a copy of the playbook. I don't know the name of the plays that they're running. All we see is the result of the play. So we have to know all the intricacies of what they're trying to do or what they're trying to accomplish before we say the play calling was bad or good. I typically try to reserve my play calling critiques to should we have run the ball or should we have passed the ball in these situations, not so much formations or things like that or who's on the field or who's not on the field. I think Kyle Pitts did make some plays on Sunday. He was pretty good out there. I liked what Casey Washington brought to as well. And yeah, he did play. I know it sounded like you made more of a prediction earlier in the week about whether he was going to get out there or not. But, he did go out there and play. And what we may get this Sunday night is we may get Mooney on one side, Washington on the other. That's very possible because, again, Mooney did practice all week long. He just was just sat down and cooled off for that particular week. Let's see. Another comment. Let's see. Dream EROG. It's week one. I don't want to be too negative, but I blame Zach Robinson and bad play calling. I slept on it and can't think of any other big issue from yesterday than that. Again, you heard my speech on play calling. I mean, the players have to execute. You know what I'm saying? If the players don't execute, is the play call bad? Or did the players just not execute? We can't just look at a negative play and assume that the play call was bad. I mean, they could call the same play 5 times in a game. It may work twice and may not work 3 times. So, again, before we look at the play calling, got to look at what the players are doing during these play calls. And we need to know what the play calls are, honestly. Let's see. Gulag General, Gulag General 7. We should be mirroring the 2016 team as far as offense. Let the running back run crazy and carve them up when tired. Our OC is making the game so predictable. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, thanks for your opinion. Appreciate it. In terms of trying to mirror the 2016 team as far as offense goes, I think we've been trying to recapture that magical year in terms of offense. But you got to remember in 2016, our defense sucked. We needed to score 100 points a game in order to win. Our OC making the game so predictable. I mean, how much of that do you think has to do with the fact he has a second-year quarterback in his 4th career start on the field? That could be playing a factor in that. But again, what is our game plan? What was the play call? I would love any of you to tell me in the comment section what these play calls were because I can't tell you a single one. All we know is run, pass, and the result of that play. Let's see. Let's see. Dwayne Duffy, 60-32. Man, Koo missed 2 kicks. He got to go. Koo missed 1 kick, and it was at the end of the game. That's the only one everybody remembers. Yes, he missed a kick. He needs to make that. It's 44 yards. For a professional making the money he makes, said it yesterday, he's got to make that kick. Understandably so, but don't think he needs to go. And if you're going to replace him, who are you going to replace him with? That's the question, folks. Who are you going to replace him with? You can't just go fantasy football and just steal someone off somebody's roster, okay? As Yahoo Sports came up with a list of who's available right now, and some of it came from Over the Cap as well. So right now, Dustin Hopkins, Greg Zuerlein, Eddie Pinheiro, Badgley, Greg Joseph, Austin Siebert, Zane Gonzalez, Cade York, and Matt McCrane. All these kickers are available right now. Some of them are north of 40, but all of them on the street for a reason. And it's not because they have high demands in terms of their salary. There's only, much like the quarterback, there's only 32 of these positions available. And Koo is one of the best 32 in the league. That's for certain. People are just pissed at him because he missed that kick. You got to remember all the kicks he's made to win games for us. I mean, remember last year, if it wasn't for him knocking down a 59-yard field goal against the Saints, we'd have got swept against the Saints. So, he's saved our ass more than once. I'm gonna give Koo the benefit of the doubt, especially because of the fact that this is a team sport. One more comment real quick. I know we're running kind of long here today. We're right around that 20-minute mark today. One person, Dream ER06, don't blame Koo. That's what he says. Jeff Holton, 1225. Hi, CG. Here's my take. No improved pass rush, poor special teams play. Agreed on that. Poor offensive play calling, stupid penalties. Koo is not reliable, no rush attack at all. I do think Raheem actually managed this game like a real head coach, but ultimately this loss falls on him. I will say I was impressed with Penix. One more thing, this sluggish offense shows why they need preseason reps. Going to be a long weekend prep for the Vikings. Bad start. Lots to digest there and to go through, Jeff. Again, play calling, you guys heard what I said about play calling. If we knew what the play was, the design, the intended target, what everybody's job is on the play, based on what Tampa's defense is doing, then we could talk about play calling. Stupid penalties, absolutely, yes. Elijah Wilkerson, 2 false starts, Ruka Rororo roughing the passer at the worst possible moment. Koo is not reliable. Well, he is reliable, and he was reliable last year up until he got injured. And again, if you count extra points and his field goals, he made 4 of 5, okay? He made 4 of 5 on Sunday. I mean, the 1 does not outweigh the 4 that he made. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Especially when the defense was the reason why he was back on the damn field in the first place. Really, and also because the offense couldn't put it into the end zone. We got to talk about that too. Short yardage has been a huge problem for the Falcons. I mean, 1st and goal from the 1, and we're running east and west. We're running pitch plays to the outside instead of just hammering it right up the middle. I'm sorry. What is going on with our offense? And then, he said the loss falls on Raheem. Yeah, I mean, he's the head coach, so ultimately he's going to take the blame. But he could easily turn around and say, well, this guy didn't make a block. This guy missed the quarterback. We missed this many sacks. This guy dropped a pass, and the kicker missed a kick. So he could easily blame it on other people. He's not teaching them how to lose or anything like that. But, the sluggish offense. Yes, agreed. They need to find some way to pick it up. Maybe no huddle or whatever it may be. I don't know if we go to a heavier run attack. I know Arthur Smith, when he was pissed off at the passing attack, he would just start running the football down the other team's throat. And it would work sometimes. I mean, he got us out of the hole a couple of times doing that. I remember one of them specifically against Cleveland. He just ran the ball down their throat, and we ended up getting a victory at home over them. Or it might have been them. But anyway, appreciate all of you guys chiming in the comments and show me how passionate you are about Falcons football. But again, plenty of things to digest. It's only one game. We've still got 16 more to go. The Falcons were in this game from beginning to end. They just couldn't get it done, unfortunately. So we'll be back tomorrow on Wednesday with more Falcons Daily. Give me a follow at Craig G Sports if you would like to do so. CRAIG, the letter G, and the word sports. And if you want to give Fan Arch a follow, they're in the top left corner up here. Fan Arch Co. FANARCHCO. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back with more Falcons Daily. Sayonara and buenos noches.